let's get into a little bit of some controversial stuff.
Yeah.
All right. What's the most toxic thing that a CEO has ever said to you in confidence?
I wouldn't say it was a statement.
Okay.
It was more one of the things that makes me just kind of scratch my head and take a step back. A lot of times when you do trainings, even leadership development programs, you design them in a way that you want executive level, C-suite level buy-in and input. And there are some times where the leader at that level doesn't want to participate. So one of the most toxic behaviors that I've observed more than a few times is when a leader, you're in the middle of a training session or there's a break or a debrief or, people are catching up. And the leader says, yeah, they really need this. They're really going to benefit from you being here. And it's like, wait, if you are separating yourself from your team in that way, that's a toxic behavior. And I think maybe it goes back to what we were saying before in terms of even some of the conversations. You're not necessarily feeling comfortable being in the room when we talk about what in our business and our company needs to improve. So you remove yourself from the room and let the leaders, let the team have fun and let them explore and let them have some of these heart-to-heart conversations that you are strategically missing from because you don't want to deal with the accountability that comes with that. And I've heard that. I've been in rooms where I'm doing a training and the most senior leader is off to the side doing their own thing. And I said, this is very telling of what the organizational culture is like. And it's a really toxic behavior.
I can say just transparently, I've made that mistake as a leader.
Oh yeah, I have to. Because
going back to my time in corporate, initially I was involved in the day-to-day, the client work. And just by, just naturally, I transitioned into, driving the organization, the company forward. And I'm removed now from the day-to-day work that I started out doing. I don't know if it was intentional or it was just happened naturally, but we have what's called every day, we have stand-ups.
Yep.
And I removed myself from those stand-ups. And so there was a disconnect between me and the team. It was almost like I'm no longer part of the team. And I could sense that. What level of impact does it have when a leader doesn't see themselves as a part of the team and or removes themselves from opportunities to develop with the team and work with the team and be kind of integrated into everything?
I think there are two sides of it. I think it's the removal from the team, and then there is the not taking the initiative to connect with the team. A lot of it deals with organizational size, right? You're a small organization, team, 15, 20 people. Even if function is changing and you have competing priorities, those are environments where sometimes more than anything, we don't need you to say anything. We just kind of need you to be here. And we miss that is a leadership function. When we talk about leadership presence, and this is one of the things that I got from just my career in pastoral ministry, one of the things they taught us is understanding what's called the be with factor. And the be with factor is many times when people are going through major transitions in life, there's a death or there's an accident or some, lost their job, house burned down. No one's expecting you to have the answer. A lot of times the expectation or the need or the ask, just sit with them for a bit. Sit with them in the thing, in the emotion that they are experiencing. And don't offer any platitudes. Don't come up with some contrived quotable that you put on a t-shirt or bumper sticker. That's unnecessary. Just sit with people. And a lot of times that's good enough. And with our teams, there are times where you have to you have to provide that strategic direction and say, this is what we're doing right now. You got to pick up the expo marker, hit the whiteboard and chart it out. And I think there are significant times when I just want the confidence of knowing my leader is in the room. And if I have a question, I can go to them and say, Charles, are we good? Or Is this working? And if not, I know that they're interested in enough at what's happening at my level to be present with us in the opportunities that they can. And I think as organizations grow, we tend to minimize the impact of those actions. And so the team is fine. They can do their thing without me. They don't even need me. And they do need you in that way. I think on the opposite side is not, even if you don't come from or you haven't built a culture of that, not taking that opportunity. The best, there's a reason why, let's pick something like Starbucks, right? Something random. There's a reason why new CEO of Starbucks, when he first took the helm of the organization, what was one of the first things he did? He went to stores, hung out with the people. He probably made coffee, probably put on an apron, worked the line a couple times, because he wants to demonstrate that, one, he cares about the people at that level, because we all know it's the individual stores that make the money. It's not
right.
Nobody up top really makes the money. It's the individual store operators and baristas that actually make the money. So he wants to know that it demonstrated he's concerned about the people at that level, and that he cares enough to spend time with them doing their work. Now, he can't do that every day. He's not 300 days a year in a local Starbucks making coffee. But he probably does it enough times, 1, to stay relevant, 2, to keep the line of communication open, 3, to demonstrate what's happening at this level is important. So you have to ask yourself, where are the times in your organization that, okay, you probably want to sit with the customer service team for a couple hours and take calls. Take those annoying calls when the product don't work and people upset, maybe cussing you out. They don't know you CEO of the company or a senior manager, but you sat in the trenches with your team for a couple hours. And they're like, oh, okay, Charles,
he's cool.
He with us. Yeah. He understands. And I might not be able to do that all the time, but every so often, the impact of you being around at our level has a greater impact than any email that you can write, any video that you can make, or any other maybe corporate collateral that you can dream up, because you're willing to connect with people at different levels of the organization. And as leaders, many times we can nudge our calendar in a way to make some of those things happen. Sometimes we don't lean into it for the same things we were talking about maybe for the last 10 or 15 minutes. Yeah. If I get close to that level, they're going to tell me some stuff they don't like. Some stuff they don't like about me. and am I grounded enough to be able to navigate those conversations?
I definitely minimize the importance of my presence.
Yeah.